Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of Hargesheimer Auctions based in Germany, and we're going to have a look at one of their latest auctions which contains an amount of musical instruments. It's actually a massive sale of fine art and stuff, but on the 8th of September, which is actually tomorrow, they are selling some musical instruments, about 147 or so we're going to have a look at those. This is actually the first time I've been on this auction website before, so it's a new one to me, so it'll be interesting to see what they have. Just to say that this is obviously a German auction house, so if you're looking to buy anything from abroad, bear in mind import export fees, maybe CITES regulations as well. Looks like the buyer's premium's 28% on this auction, so that's what you pay at the final kind of hurdle. So yeah, we're just going to get onto it and just kind of do a quick blitz through. Just to say, if you do enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing, like or commenting, because it really does help. So yeah, this particular part of the auction finishing on the 8th of September, it is the 7th today, so not that much time to get in. I'm afraid I'm a little bit late to the party on this one. I've been a little bit busy, but let's see what we've got. Like I said, we're going to blitz through a bit. Let's just get the translation friend on a bit. Yes, translate to English. So we've got a Tibetan Zen singing bowl there. €200 is the estimate. It's a bit strange how they've kind of put the estimate there. It looks a bit confusing. Got a JTL hunting horn there. Tenor saxophone. Another tenor saxophone, Julius Kilworth. If there's anything super interesting, we'll look into it directly, otherwise we'll just skim over it. Trombone by Anton Riedel of Grassless. Pocket trumpet with mouthpiece. Let's just have a quick look at this. €500 on that. See how many images we get. It's actually some quite nice images. I think this is quite a high level like art kind of auction house, so I think they have some pretty good pictures. Quite a nice looking instrument. And they've got pocket trumpet with mouthpiece, Mark de Kirkenaria, around 1900. So they've got some other information. Provenance collection of Dusseldorf, so that's interesting. Cornet, King H.N. White and Co. Cornet by Kuzno, €400 there. Trumpet, Otto Meinl. Another trumpet, Anton Riedel at Grassless. Trumpet, Anton Riedel again. Trumpet, Heinrich Hermuth. We won't go into that so much. Another cornet there by Courtois. Interesting that it's only translating the ones that we're currently on. Let's see if we can get this. Okay. More trumpets there. Adolf Reynolds. Rare standard phone by Julius Rudolph. Let's have a look at that. €800 for this. Definitely pretty curious looking. So really great pictures actually. These are really professional photos. Rare normophone, Julius Rudolph, Gotha, around 1924. We won't go into it super crazy, but very interesting. A Helicon there, Joseph Liddell. Sousaphone there, €1,200. Concertina by Scholler. Bandonion by Alfred Arnold. Some more bandonions here. Another one here, Alfredo Arnold. Ernst Louis Arnold bandonion. Another one there, quite a few actually. A Blasch harmonica. Let's have a look at this. That's an interesting looking one, €300. Blasch harmonica with keyboard, Lower Saxony, 1899, melodica in a wooden case. Okay. German Reich utility patent number. That's interesting. So another couple of accordions and things here. Let's just get that on. Okay. Button accordions there. Whole load of them. Different price points. So let's have a look at least one of them. Belgian spoon bass. Interesting. Looks in quite nice condition. €900 there. Private collection in the Lower Rhine. Okay. Quite an interesting auction so far. Whole load of other accordions here. Let's have a look at this. Fratelli Bologna Barini. €1,800. That does actually look like a pretty nice looking accordion, to be fair. Elaborately crafted case. Interesting. Italy, early 20th century. That's a whole load of, that's quite a big accordion and accordion associated collection here. Some kind of music boxes, and then piano rolls here for those pianos. Let's have a look at this. Got a piano here, a square piano by Hornung and Moller, Copenhagen, Denmark, around 1870. Okay, that's interesting. It's good to see square pianos that aren't English and aren't Broadwoods. So it's a nice looking instrument. Interesting that the keys here, kind of this curves round. I think I've seen a Pleyel piano before which has this same thing where you kind of don't get the full key at the end, so that's kind of pretty curious. €3,000 estimate on that, so it's fairly high. One of these zithers here, looks like a fairly standard mandolin. Some more kind of standard mandolins. Let's have a look at this one, just in case it's a bit more interesting. Giuseppe Puglisi. Okay, €260 on that. It's actually not too bad as these things go. Guitar lute. Let's have a look at this. €10,000. Wow, okay. It's interesting. Kink neck lute, Erlangen, 1963. Okay. Seems quite a lot of money there. I do not know this maker. It looks nicely made, but I'm always a bit skeptical of some of these kind of lutes made in that period. They tend to be a little bit heavy. There they go. Winner National Craft Competition. Not sure. It'd be interesting to kind of get the opinion of a lutenist on that. Seems quite a high price. A couple of banjos here. Wow, a Deering Texas banjo there. They're wanting €16,000 on that. I know that the Deering ones are pretty popular, but that is quite an amount. Looks like quite a nice one there. Nice photos again. I said quite a good photos in this particular auction. 20th century private collection, commemorate the 150th anniversary of the independence from Mexico. Only 151 were made in total. There you go. Interesting one. And there's the banjo book there, 1001 banjos, so with a big encyclopedia. Right, we're on to kind of bows here. We've got Fretschner bow there. We won't go so much into this, I don't think, at the moment. I'm not sure what is this bow that they're saying is €300, so this seems a bit, this looks like the absolute worst trash bow ever. This is like the lowest quality bow from China. Absolutely awful. €300. Weird. That is extremely bizarre estimates there. That's really strange. So that's a bit of a red flag for our bow there. Bizarre, probably bizarre. That is very strange. Let's have a look at this. Kittel, they're saying, or stamped kittel. Let's see what the description is. €800. Violin bow, octagonal stick, Parisian eye. Marked kittel after Nikolai Kittel. Okay. Looks interesting enough. 3/4 bows. Okay. Alright, William Watson. Okay, that's be an interesting bow to have a look at. Let's have a look at this. Looks like a nice bow. That's some nice kind of gold fittings to that. And also the plate, a lot of detail. Let's see. Violin bow, William D. Watson, London 1969, octagonal gold mounting. Yep, one of the bow makers for Hills. Looks like a nice looking bow, really great maker, so that's interesting. 5,800, I guess, probably reasonable estimate for a bow of that kind. Let's see what else. We've got some Brian Alvey stuff with looks like tortoiseshell here. Let's have a look at these two. 3,000 euros on that. 1970, another Hill bow maker. There's another cello bow. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Some more cello bows. Albert Hoyer, okay, 7,000 euros. That seems quite high. Knopf bow, that seems fairly high estimates. Let's see what else we have here. So viola da gamba with bow. Herman Moeck, 1957. I think nothing super crazy there. 600 euro estimate. Not too bad. Got a violin with bow. Not much to go on there. I don't think that's anything too crazy either. Another violin with bow. Let's have a look. Once again, that's fairly standard estimates. Probably fine on that. Violin and two bows. Let's have a look at this one. 300 euros on this. Let's have a see if we can get a bigger image of this. It's hard to say really. Lots of pictures, so that's good. But difficult exactly to say what's going on. It looks like some kind of German, probably beginning of the 20th century. I would say more end of 19th, but something of that kind of ilk. Another violin here. I think this is going to be fairly similar stuff. Let's see if there's anything else. Oscar Jaeger. Not seeing anything too crazy there. Another violin, probably with a Steiner mark somewhere. That's going to be a typical, either circa 1900 kind of thing. 3/4 violin there, 150 euros. Labelled Knack Stradivari. Just standard stuff here, so nothing too crazy. Violin. Joseph Akroning. Let's see, that's interesting. What's this on the back, like a cross or something? That's pretty bizarre. See if we can zoom in a bit more and see how good these pictures are. I think these are pretty good pictures. But it's I think a fairly standard looking instrument when you get into it. Don't think there's anything too crazy about that one either. Half size by JTL, we'll ignore that. Right, violin. Knack Jean-Baptiste Viaume. Violin after Jean-Baptiste Viaume, vehicle 19th to 20th century. Let's have a look at this in more detail. Not super exciting for me, but maybe someone would be interested in that. 5,000 euros seems a bit much, but there you go. Violin by Dillo. Okay. Moving on to page number 2. Do you have much on there? Right, violin, Alberto Blanchi. Let's have a look at this. Quite an interesting maker. Do quite like his work. I like his scrolls actually. They're quite characterful, quite wide. Violin, Alberto Blanchi, Nice, France, 1931. That looks kind of believable, I think. 4,000 euros. I think that's about kind of what the auction level is, if it's popular. Violin, KI, 800 euros. Probably Germany, 20th century. Okay. See what other images we got there. Interesting here. Flat on the back of the thing. Let's see what the... Yeah, looks kind of fairly standard. Didier Nicolas Ain violin here. 4.5. That seems potentially a little bit expensive. 36 length of back, which is to be expected for these. I think that's a bit much, really. Violin, Karol Pilar, Czech Republic, 1935. Looks like it might be okay. Violin, August Martin Ludwig Gemunder. Okay, let's have a look at this. New York, 1891. This could be an interesting one. See if we can check out a few more pictures. Yeah, not entirely sure about that one. Another one from the private collection. Let's see, looks like a fairly standard violin. Same with this one. One which is saying after Heinrich Roth. Don't think that's anything too exciting. That looks like a fairly low budget instrument, that one. These ones all here looking fairly similar. I don't think we're going to see anything particularly mind-blowing. This is all pretty normal stuff. Right, violin after Caspar Hopf. Let's have a look at that. Hopf stamp on the back. Wonder if there's a... Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, 800 euros seems kind of maybe a tiny bit high, but not super unreasonable. Another after Hopf, violin after Matthias Klotz. Let's have a look at that, 450. German 19th to 20th century. Let's see if we can see the picture on the back. Actually, don't mind that. I think that's like a fairly interesting looking violin, actually. Be interested to see what's going on. Up at the top looks like it has a neck graft. That's fairly curious. 450 euros. Mark Klotz, interesting. Yeah, I think that's a fairly nice looking instrument. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't know, part of me thinks that might be a bit older than what they're stating, but I can't see it in person, so hard to say. Another one, there seems to be a whole group of these kind of Klotzons, which are saying 19th to 20th century stuff. So let's see. Yeah, that one I think looks a bit more like what I'd expect for a kind of later 19th century one, but I mean, it's still fairly interesting violin. Just have another look here. €600. I mean, it doesn't look in too bad condition. It's nice enough for whatever it is. They're saying probably some kind of bohemian thing or something like that. Another violin after Sebastian Klotz. And again, I mean, you know, quite nice looking violins, really. It's not a bad looking instrument there. Take a look at the side profile. Yeah, I think it's like fairly nice looking instrument. Once again, a bit unclear to see from those pictures. €800. I think it's not too bad. Violin Remigio Muncher. Okay. Another one. This is probably a definite standard 19th century. These things with the Schweitzer label tend to be. Looks pretty standard. Violin Anton Schuster Zimmermann. I think this is probably another kind of tradey type instrument. It's a little bit weird to navigate this website. Let's see what else we got here. Paulus cello there. Let's have a look at that cello for €3,000. Possibly South German, 1860 to 1880. Okay. Acquired from the violin maker Jan Frolik, Offenbach am Main. Okay. That's a nice enough cello. I think €3,000 is not too horrific an asking price. Cello there by Riedel. That's another cello there, €1,200. Let's see what they say to that. 1930s German. Let's see what else we got here. Right, to cello by Pierre Hell of Lyon, €28,000 there. So it's a fairly high level maker. These tend to sell quite well. A lot of pictures there with a cello bow from a collector in Switzerland there. Also bow as well. Looks like silver mounted, so interesting high level item there. Okay, viola here by Ernst Salmer, Marklikirchen, 1980. Let's have a look at the pictures. Looks normal enough. Right, another viola. Is that saying New Italian or something of that nature? Yes, viola, New Italian, Italy, 20th century. Let's have a look at this. But no maker given. I mean, very difficult to tell kind of what's going on with that. 39.5, not too bad a size, a little on the smallish for modern ones. Violin, not Guarneri. Looks fairly modern, early 20th century, seems about right. Let's see what else we got here. Violin after Pietro Giovanni Guarneri. Don't think there's anything crazy here. Bohemian Saxon, 1900. Let's have a look at that, see if we can see the picture a bit better in the back. It's a bit dark, so difficult to see what's going on there. There's a lot of violins after. They seem to be stating this a lot on this particular auction house for some reason. Violin after Pietro Antonio della Costa. €1,200 on that. It's got a nice case on it. Looks like your fairly standard late 19th century thing yet. Interesting. Violin after Raffaele Fiorini. Just looks like your standard stuff really. Another violin after Vincenzo Ruggieri. This is all very dodgy kind of naming of these instruments. I think just because they have like a label in, this looks like a Hopf type instrument, so very odd because it has a label in it saying a maker. It doesn't mean it's after at all, so ignore all of that stuff on this auction. So basically they're just writing what the label says inside. Most of this stuff is probably German 19th century, so most likely might be a few things that are a bit better, but definitely have a look at it in your own time because I'm just kind of blitzing through. Violin, probably Antonio Scarbi, Rome, 1899. Okay, 1800 on that. So a speculative lot. Yeah, hard to tell with a lot of these things. It'd be good to see it in person. Right, Violin by Giovanni Bassone. Probably Turin, 1898. Private collection in Berlin. Let's see in a bit. Kind of looks interesting from the varnish point of view, so really curious. That'd be another interesting one to look at in person. So it looks like might be some kind of reference in a book. Let's see what else we got here. Right, another violin here. They're saying probably Pietro Gaetano Scarabotto, Parma. So they've got a few things that they're putting at a bit of a higher level. Interesting edge work on that. You can see the scoops on the F holes. Let's see what else we got here. Violin with a Panormo label, €800. See what we got here. Yeah, it's probably correct. It's probably a similar kind of workshop stuff. Hard to tell by the photos, unfortunately, but it looks fairly standard. Let's have a look if we can get back to the next page. We're having our famous internet problems again, unfortunately. Oh, I think we just about got back there. Somehow went back to page 1. No idea what's occurring there. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see, where were we? Right, violin Augusto Palastri after. Let's see, private collection. Let's have a look at this. I mean, really difficult to tell what's going on there. I don't think I would pay that much for it. Violin Giuseppe Pellicani, Modena, 1969. Another one from a private collection. Let's have a look at the pictures on this one. Interesting body shape, interesting decoration at the side. Right, more here. Right, violin. Raphael and Antonio Galliano. That's a, you can see that's a nice back already. Naples, 1859. Private collection there. 48,000 euros. Let's have a look at these pictures. Yeah, interesting looking scroll there. That's a very beautiful back, I have to say. That is really quite something. So this is probably definitely the star item so far. I don't know why I've got this thing here and we can't see it without that, but yeah, it's an interesting looking violin for sure. I don't know if we can somehow open up the back without that, for some reason not, but yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, nice looking instrument, that. Quite like that. Oh, hang on, there was a missed something there. There was a dendrochronological study there by Arjen Vestig that confirms the violin is from that period. Interesting. That's curious. Right, Master Violin by Gennaro Galliano there, 1742. Let's have a look at this one. Interesting back on that one. And that's one I'd like to see, I think, a bit more in person really. Let's see what we've got here. See if there's any information. It's got an appraisal from some makers there. That one I think I would like to look at in person first. Let's see what else we've got here. 7/8 violin there, after Alfredo Averna. Probably Palermo, 1947. 800 euros on that. Interesting elongated F-holes, pretty plain, just inked or no purfling. What is this? Some images of Stradivari. Yeah, prints of Stradivari violins there. Half-size violin after Stradivari, another violin after Stradivari, violin after Steiner. Violin by Till Kula, so we saw an instrument previously. 800 euros on that. 1989, Cologne. Let's have a look at this. Interesting looking score. It's quite a nice, nice back actually. That's an interesting choice. So that's an interesting looking violin there. What's the length of back on it? 36. So fairly larger, ready to play. That's quite a nice looking violin, that actually. That's fairly interesting. Whole load of bridges there. This looks like a generic one. Let's have a look at this violin for 80 euros as our final thing. Yeah, your fairly standard trade stuff. So there you go, a new auction house. Went through that kind of just really briefly, so do look at it yourself. Just kind of questioning it really. This particular instrument, if it is what they say it is or not, I'm not sure, but very beautiful back on that instrument. I really like that quite a lot. Really nice. A few other interesting things here, a few interesting violins, a couple of really nice bows actually as well, some amazing accordions as well. We didn't kind of touch on that so much in detail just because it's not really my kind of great sphere of knowledge, but yeah, I think it's actually an interesting auction, and I definitely recommend if you're interested in musical instruments, check it out yourself. Nice banjo, a couple of interesting bits here and there for sure, like I said, good kind of accordions and bandonions, etc. A few interesting brass instruments. I really like this little trumpet there. Yeah, a cool auction. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, really appreciate it. Check the link to the auction in the description, and I'll check you out next time. Bye.